So you want to do controls. Let's watch and see how we change out a fan power box unit controller in controls. I already have my ladder set up here. I already have the ceiling tile open there I'm going to go through, and the insulation pulled away. Let's get up here. Let's see what we're working with. So we got an Allerton controller right here. That we're going to take off and put a Distech controller on. So, it's a fan power box. Get my fat butt up here so I can see what we got going on. Alright. Okay, so it's a fan power box. It's on. The door's open. Everything's hot. So we don't touch any of this. We got 277 coming in on each one of those legs right there. Two of them together make 480. And what we got in here is an SCR heat board that's going to take a 2 to 10 signal or a 0 to 10 signal and output heat, right? The higher the voltage, the more heat it outputs. So we have an Allerton VAV controller with a BLEMO damper actuator, and we're going to replace that with a Distech controller. So let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is turn off the box. So I don't really like working on the heat, so this is going to turn counterclockwise. So I'm going to put my little wrench right here, and I'm going to turn this guy counterclockwise. Okay, now we're off. Now I'm going to look at this VAV unit. I'm going to get my tools that I know I'm going to need. No, I'm going to need my screwdriver. A bit. Okay. So, get this out. I'm going to go ahead, put my extension on here, screwdriver bit. I'm going to take this guy out. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and unscrew this guy. Okay. Now, it takes an 8mm to take these nuts off, okay? Which I happen to have right here. So I'm gonna break these nuts loose. Okay. That is my 10mm. This is my 8. I'll break these nuts loose. And I go the rest of the way with the hand. This has to be loose enough to take off the actuator. Okay, actuator's off. Now we got the controller to deal with. We're going to pop out these polys. This is how it reads airflow. Okay, move those off to the side. We're going to figure out if this was clockwise or counterclockwise by turning it. Can't get a good grip on it, so I'm going to use my old handy channel locks. Okay, that's going to be counterclockwise. See, I'm turning that down to the left, so it's counterclockwise to open. Excuse me, gets dusty up here. Now, next thing, I need to look at the address, because I'm going to match the address exactly the way it is here. So, on here, there's dip switches. and it's 1, 2, so the 4 and the 8 are on. So 4 plus 8 is what? 12. So we're gonna make this guy 12. So here's my Distech controller. I'm gonna go ahead and set this up for counterclockwise. I'm pushing this and turn that all the way to the right. That way it's in the fully closed position. Distech controllers, you have to pop off the cover to change the address. And it's binary addressing, right? So number 1 is 1, number 2 is 2, number 3 is 4. I'm gonna turn 4 on, and number 4 is 8. So I'm gonna put 8 on. 4 and 8 make 12. Good to go. Close that. Now, take my controller out here, and these little tabs come off of the controller, so I'm going to take the one off for the back net. I'm going to look, my plus goes on the bottom, my negative goes in the middle. So I'm going to take the plus off of here. The plus is the white wire. Data plus, we can read that right there. And we said that goes on the bottom, so I'm going to hit it on the bottom. Okay, now I'm going to take the negative off here. I'm doing this because this is a building that's still active and everything has to still run while we're replacing these controllers. Put that in the middle. There we go. Now it has a shield wire that's already taped up under here, so this is good. This is the backnet COM wire. Move that off this side. Okay. Now the next wires we have up here, input 1 in COM, that's going to be the stat wire for this. I'm not going to need that per se. Let's see, where's the serve? It serves that way. So we got to go find where that serves, but I'm not going to need that, so I'm going to cut those wires right here. And this red is also part of the stat, okay? Pull that up. Okay. Deal with that later, okay? The next one right here is the discharge air sensor. Okay, the discharge air sensor is mounted over there. I don't know if you can see it or not. It's mounted over there. We're going to reuse that because I don't feel like running that again. So I'm going to take that wire. It's just a 2 conductor. For some reason, these Allotins, they landed a shield on everything. We don't need the shield on ours. So I'm going to cut that off. Okay, I'm going to take it off of here, which is our inputs. I'm going to put this on the input 3 and common, which happen to be the 4 and 3 terminal blocks on this terminal block. Okay. Since we shut power off to this unit, there is no power here. So I'm going to take these off. The top one is going to be my 24 volts hot. It's blue. The next one down is going to be my 24 volts common or ground. Take that off. The next one, the black, is going to be my fan. And the red down here is going to be my SCR heat. So take all that off. Okay. And now I'm just left with the controller in that. I'm just going to put this in this box over here. That you can see. Now I'll show you what they did here. So if you saw, they had 2 yellow wires together. So they have this yellow wire coming down here that's tying all these other commons together. I'm not going to keep that like that because our controller doesn't share common like this controller did. So just take this wire out, throw it over there, and now I got all my wires separated. So I'm going to take my controller, and with the damper all the way to the right, which is shut, we're going to put it on like this. Okay, I'm already going to need poly, I can tell that. That's fine. Get poly here in a second. I'm going to somewhat tighten up this to the damper shaft. I'm putting my 5/8 bit back on my drill driver. Done with Phillips. So 5/8 is back on here. In this box comes with a 5/8 self-tapper. And that self-tapper is going to just go right there on the end. And that's just to hold it from going up and down whenever it's moving on the damper shaft. Okay, there we go. 5/8 is in there. Finish up tightening these down. Use my 8mm again. Okay, tight. Now, we'll hook everything up. This is my discharge air sensor. Okay, move the slack back up out of here. Up here. Second, we got our outputs are here, right? Fan was black, so the fan controller, the fan black. If we didn't know, we could come over here, we could read this, and it will tell us our colors. We see black, follow it down, it's going to the fan relay. Black and orange are going to the fan relay. So between black and orange, you have to have 24 volts to hit the fan on. So black, we're going to put on DO4, which happens to be right here. Okay, and then we're going to find the orange wire, which is this guy, and we're going to put it on the common. Has too much stripped back, so we're going to cut the wire here and put it in here, and this is going to be our common for our fan. So when the fan calls, it's going to put 24 volts out on those two. Okay. Next is our SCR heat. That's going to be this red wire, and that's going to go on UO5 right here. Okay, UO5. And we know that because if we come back over here, we see red goes to the positive on this board right here. For that, white goes to the negative. Okay, so we're going to take the white wire here. Again, too much will strip back, so we're going to cut it. Okay, and we're going to put it on the common side of that UO5. Analog output 5, and then the common. So that's going to make between 0 and 10 volts to turn on our heat. Okay. Now all we got left is our power wires. Okay. In this instance, blue is 24 volts. And yellow is our common. Alright, we already have our comm, so I'm going to hook that guy up. There we go. Now, don't worry, I'm going to clean this up here in a second, but I got to go get longer poly. So, because our poly won't reach to our pickup tubes right there. So let me go down and get longer poly, and I'll be right back. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the poly off of the T's here and put longer pieces on here. Hold on 1 second, be right back. Get poly. I need about 18 inches, 2 polys at 18 inches. About 1 second. And now we can extend the poly longer like we need. So I'm start over here, and on Distech it doesn't matter which side's high or low, it figures it out itself. I cannot see this, so rearrange the camera here so I can climb my happy butt back up in the ceiling. There we go. Now, lean over, put the poly on. We're gonna run it across the top here. So I'm gonna say I need about that much. Cut it with my end snips, flush cuts. I'll hook that up. I'll call that the high one. Okay. I'll do the same thing for the other one. Make sure they're in there. You don't want them coming off. And then we're going to cut this poly about right here. Flush cuts work really good. And put that together. Oh. Okay. Now we can clean this up. I have zip ties. I do. Now we want to keep this wire away from this because this is going to turn, okay, when it's on. So we don't want that anywhere near this guy. So just going to bring it in a little bit more and kind of bend it back. Leave that right there. That's good. Now for our power and all these guys, we can clean that up. I'll run this back behind here. Okay. Something like this. Put a little zip tie on here. Okay. Good. Now, we're almost ready. But we don't have a stat wire. Remember, I cut that stat wire and pulled it out because our stat wire is gonna be Cat 5. So I gotta figure out where this stat wire goes. Looks like it goes down there into another room. So let's go look for that stat wire. This is the size gap that my body is in right now. That's why everything's so difficult for me to move around in. I'm not gonna need my drill. Bring my little flush cuts. Put these in my little pocket. Alright, let's go look for that stat. Let me get down first and I'll bring you guys down. Oh god. Ugh. Here we go. Remember, that's the space that we're just in, coming down the ladder. I'm gonna go grab my Cat 5. Cat 5. Let's go find that stat. wasn't in that room. It looked like it was going to be in this room right here. Maybe not. Maybe this room. That is not it. Okay. Let's kind of look above the ceiling and around. They're doing demo. So, that definitely comes down right here. You know, it might be in the next room over because I see some ductwork here. So let's go around the corner, see what that room is, if anything. So we're going to come around here. It's not that stat, I'll tell you that. That's a new one I've already replaced. Alright. Here's the ductwork that comes in here. That's definitely not it. See, half of my job is walking around trying to find stuff. And it's not there. So what we're going to do is come back over here. I'm going to grab my ladder. We're going to get in the ceiling and look for that stat. Oh, there's some wires. Interesting enough. Not a stat. There's definitely some wires. So I can see the wires in here. Let me go grab the ladder and we go look together. I'm gonna go look. Yes, stay there. There's the wire. Goes into the next room over. So let's go over there. Love you guys. Over here. All right. I'm up here. Keep going over a little bit more. Alright, good news, we found the stuff. Let's come over here and I'll show you what it looks like. Alright, this is that right here, which they have serving this room. Okay, so what I'm going to do is replace this guy. We're going to take the old span off. Stand my Phillips screwdriver. just going to disconnect these wires from around here, because normally you don't get this kind of access. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut that wire right there. Flush cuts. Cut that guy. Okay. Go ahead and cut these, because that's got to come off the wall. Okay, everything cut. Now I can just pull this stud off the wall. Boom. Done. Okay. Now I need to run my wire, my Cat 5 wire, from here all the way back there. So what we're going to do is run it through this wall right here, and then over here I'm going to tape it to this guy right here, so I have a pull string to pull back to the unit. Set it down so you see. Got the wire over here. I did not fall off the ladder like some of you thought I was going to do. So I'm going to cut this wire, feed it down in the box. Now this is Cat 5. We need an RJ45. Okay, it's 8 pins. Okay, so we want to strip back this about 2 inches. Cut this little hairy wire off. Okay. Now we're going to separate the colors. So you've got a white and a solid of each color in here. You got orange, green, blue, and brown. Now I got orange, green, blue, and brown in that order. I'm going to untwist the orange where I start with the orange, white over here on the right. So I got orange, white, orange. Now I'm going to go to the green. I'm going to untwist the green. Okay. Now I got orange, white, orange, green, white. The next color in line is going to have to be blue, the solid blue. I know. It's where it's tricky, right? This is how data cable works. So I got orange, white, orange, green, white, blue, blue, white, green, and now all I need is brown, white, brown. So untwist that. So now I kind of have these fanned out: orange, white, orange, green, white, blue, blue, white, green, brown, white, brown. Now I'm going to kind of pinch these and pull on them here and twist to straighten them out. Okay, that's the way I've learned to do it. It's worked for me so far, so you find your own way, you can do it. Now I'm going to get them all lined up together straight. Then I'm going to double check again. Orange, white, orange, green, white, blue, blue, white, green, brown, white, brown. Yep. I'm taking my cutters, flush cut them at the top, leaving about that much. It's about the size of it. Now, tab side down with the orange, white to the left, I'm going to feed these through here all the way till they hit the top. These are not push throughs, so they do not push through. Take my crimpers on the 8-pin side, push this in, crimp down while I'm pushing the wire in, and boom. Now we have a crimped in. Okay? No power to the controller. I'm going to go ahead and plug this in. Now I have to go do that to the same side downstairs, right where the stat is. So let's go do that. So let's squeeze down this little hole got. Okay. Let's go grab a stat out of this box. Alright, we're going to put in this Smart View stat. That's the one that takes the Cat 5 cable and the ends all the way down here. Okay. So, we got our wire all secured above the ceiling, coming in here. And put you over here so you see the magic. So go ahead and cut my wire. Only some. Somewhere around there. Okay. We'll take off about 2 inches. Drop it in my little trash box here. Cut that little hairy wire. That's the strip back the coating. When you see that, you know your ends are crimped good. Now I'm going to go program the box And that'll be it for this one. Program and check out the box.